So you guys are pressing forward, and when the scene comes back to you guys, you're pressing through a cave structure. You're both shining your flashlights. You both have your suits on. So if it wasn't for the fact that one of you had a pack on and the other was carrying the thing, you'd be almost indistinguishable from each other. And as the scene turns to you, it's very clear that things are different. You're walking through a snow dusted ground now. There's a clear wind blowing in your faces, and there's like frosty snow / crystally kind of things like passing. It's very clear you guys are moving forward towards the outside, but there's not a visible cave entrance where you are. You've been trekking for an hour now ahead of where the group was, and they've been retreating, so you're definitely far from them. And it's definitely cold, and it's definitely closer to the outside, but you're nowhere. It doesn't look like you can visibly see any way out.
Huh. Okay. Well,
and because you're in your suits, it's like this kind of quiet, kind of humming that comes from like the echoey thing that you get inside a helmet.
Yeah.
But you can't really hear what's going on outside.
Great. I'm glad that I have this moment alone with Koval.
Oh yes, that's right. You two can talk privately with each other.
Over the suit to suit. So I want to say, hey Koval, what do you know about Herbert Industries?
I've heard of them. They're kind of big multinational conglomerate. Don't they do like all kinds of things? I heard that they like own banks and like have something in the petroleum industry, which I think everyone does now. Like, weren't they some like oil magnate or something like that made good and started investing in like rocket ships and putting people on the moon or whatever?
Yeah, yep, that's you got it. They got their fingers in a lot of pies.
Yeah, they sponsored that like science show on PBS. It's always like blah blah
which
blah.
one?
Nature Earth, brought to you by Herbert Industries and the John D. Rockefeller Foundation. Yeah, that's where I hear about them all the time. Okay. They're always sponsoring those like PBS specials.
Would you be surprised to know that they're the ones who? Well, I mean, I bankrolled a lot of the expedition, but they're the ones who actually put the thing together.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If you go back through enough shell companies, you'd find their stamp all over this.
That's so interesting. How do you know this? Wait, so you're saying you paid for it, but then they took your money and built this expedition?
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. See, I just found out that Deborah's working directly for them.
Really?
Yeah. See, the worrisome thing is, from what I can tell, she seems to have her own agenda. And that agenda may or may not involve all of us getting out alive. And that worries me, because I spent a lot of money on this. And my son's life is on the line of getting the data out of here.
Yeah, what's that all about anyway? Like, what's up with your son? Why do you, like, what were you hoping we would find here in Antarctica? See, I just figured this was another one of those, like, oh, you know what? The ice sheets are melting. There's probably, like, oil down there.
Yeah, I mean, finding oil would be nice, and I'm sure that would be money too, but no, I'm here for more personal reasons. My son, Danny Jr., he was born with this weird medical condition. At least that's what the doctors thought it was. They spent years trying various treatments. I've made a lot of money, and I've spent a good amount of it in various experimental treatments. And then, once it became clear that the doctors couldn't solve it, that modern science had no way of knowing how to even approach the problem to begin with. That's when I started turning to other solutions. And I got in, I put my money into this expedition because I learned some things that suggested that this would be less about the science and more about, well, kind of the things we're finding out now.
Oh, you mean like this whole like monster skeleton magical book deal?
I didn't know it was going to be anything like this, but the magical book thing, yes. More of that, less monsters with DNA that survives by itself under the ice for millions of years. But
yeah, see, that's kind of what I thought, that you guys came, this was another one of those like, oh, the cure for AIDS is in the Amazon sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I was told. Like, I'm here because I'm a geologist, and I was actually told in my contract that this was a petroleum project, we're going to get ice core samples, and it's always good to spend petroleum money doing real science on the side because they're willing to pay for it. But yeah, this whole, it's super weird. But I've spent tons of billionaire dollars on kinds of expeditions. Cortez with the Fountain of Youth and things like that. So yeah, if they believe that there's a giant monster skeleton here, that's perfectly fine. I'm willing to spend money for monster skeleton expeditions if that's what they're going for.
So, were you told anything about this monster skeleton sort of thing before you signed on? Nothing?
Well, when Deborah mentioned it, it was the first I heard of it.
Okay.
But it's not the weirdest thing I've heard.
Okay. Well, it seems like she has... When we were off on our own and we went down into those caves and we saw the creature and they shot the creature and they shot Markham Scott, like, it's clear she has military training. Like,
oh yeah, she's very skilled. I could definitely tell that. And you know what?
It's not the sort of training you get from, dabbling on the side when you're actually a scientist for most of your life.
Well, we all come from interesting backgrounds. I mean, I went to college on the GI Bill, and maybe she did as well.
All right.
Koval is just so innocent.
What a down-to-earth guy.
Yeah, he is. He's even got a down-to-earth haircut. Very practical.
Mm-hmm. Down-to-earth job.
She doesn't care if she was the only person to walk out if you're alive.
Well, thank goodness I've got the beacon then. Because hey, look at that. And he points and there's a little light there. It looks like, oh, look, we're almost there. This is great.
That is fantastic. Finally some good news.
I love his enthusiasm.
All right.
You can tell that he's like getting a little more spring in his step. Like he's like,
all right, yeah.
fun.
We're doing it. We're gonna
He's the
put this
fun
beacon
one.
up
It's like-
and
it's like
send that message
every
out.
girl group or every boy band has like the fun one. That's Cole. He's the one that like talks.
Was he this
I
fun
did not
before?
get that impression at all.
I don't know if he was this fun before.
He was not this funny.
He was the other tough Ukraine, like Eastern European.
on the Falcon, he was sort of, I don't know, he gave off like a surfer vibe to me.
He was
Really?
like the.
I thought he was like the,
He's like the
get
mechanic
stuff
who's
done,
like, it's like, oh, you
unflappable.
science people, I'm the oil on the pants.
He
and
was
the
he
face.
was the friendly, helpful outdoorsman.
Yeah.
Like it's like, hey, I can help you out. But he hasn't been this fun before. This is clearly kind of a new thing. Maybe it's because he's in a suit with
Yeah.
There's
like,
this
In
cool
the
new
outer
thing I'm
range,
trying
he's,
out.
like,
It's
entrusted
fun.
with vital stuff.
Yeah. Like when people have a helmet on and you can't see they're wearing a mask, they become slightly different. Maybe he's more comfortable. Also, he can't really see you either, so you're now just man in suit as opposed to like rich guy who's annoying. So
I've been really into fun lately.
yeah,
It's something I'm trying out.
yeah, he is notably more fun in his interactions with you. You feel like he hasn't been this nice to you at all during the whole expedition.
Can I see if he's putting on a front or trying to like
Sure.
brush me off?
Yeah, you have psychology or
I do. That is a 34 under 70, so that is a hard success.
You cannot miss the fact that he seems to be being extra nice to you. Like, you can tell that he's making more of an effort. I mean, it's not necessarily inauthentic, but you can tell that he's being more enthusiastic than he's ever been since you've interacted with him on this mission.
Maybe it's because you're the rich motherfucker. And,
Yeah, do I...
like...
Okay.
It's
like,
really
do I
hard
get
to-
anything else?
so you'd
or-
Like, if you like that girl and she knows you're a millionaire, you're not
Yeah,
really sure she really just likes you for who you are.
You just had a gun pointed in your face and you were like, well, fuck you too. I'm out.
Fuck you, I've got
So,
money.
so,
Yeah,
like, you're a billionaire and a renegade.
He likes your
So-
confidence.
When Danny gets that vibe, he relaxes. Because as long as it's about the money,
As
he
long as it's about him.
understands that.
You feel like
That's
the
a
money
good
is
thing.
definitely a part of it.
That's a good thing. Okay.
And you stood down Deborah. That's nothing. Like, you... Because he was feeling the vibe of Deborah about to, like, rip you up. And in that moment, he was pretty sure you were going to give up the suit. And when you didn't, he's like, oh, wow. I have not seen the side of Danny, the weakling billionaire who basically stood up to Deborah and kept the suit. So, I
Okay.
was fairly impressed. And now here you are at the edge of the cave.
All right.
The jolly, friendly chit-chat has made the time pass quickly. And so here you are, and you're setting up the beacon.
All right.
And-
What do you... I guess I just...
You're looking around. You
Yep.
should make a spot check or a listen check, whichever is better for you.
They're the same. That is a failure.
All right. So you're setting up the little beacon thing. Oh, wait. I should probably... I always forget that. Cole, even though he's not
Just
great,
snow.
also has a spot.
It's just snow everywhere. Like...
Cole's skill set is all over the place.
We're looking for... Oh, is it non-alphabetical?
Oh, no, it is. It's just... Oh, I'm sorry. Over the place meaning, like...
No specialization.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
He's a jack of all trades. He's kind of like medium good at tons of different things, and so it's like, including like the company that he used to work for, this weird Ukrainian firm. So with a name I
Burn
can't
up all
pronounce.
those good rolls.
Burn up the bad ones.
Yeah. So anyway, so that takes about 20 minutes. He gets it all set up. He flips all the switches. He's like sets it up, and he goes, "Well, guess we wait." I don't know how long we want to stay out here before we head back, but unless we get a signal back, there's no way of knowing if they're receiving, and we don't even know if we can receive from here.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's been 2 days.
it's important that the signal gets out. So we should probably sit here for... Oh, let's see. Oh, if only we... Is it like extra stormy?
No,
I can't really tell.
No,
but
it's actually
pretty clear.
It's actually slightly windy. There's that crystalline snow that happens when it's too cold for real snowflakes to form, and so you can sort of tell that if you weren't in your suits, it's the kind like it would hit your face and cut it a little bit, like that sharp crystal snow that happens. I know if any of you have ever lived in areas where that happens. But,
No, but I've seen that.
But I'm from the Midwest, so we get this kind of like super crazy snow all the time.
Wind chill.
Yeah, where it's not real snow, but it's like lake water misted
ice.
and then frozen into
Yeah.
like sharp ice things that hit your face. So it's that kind of icy snow. And but yeah, it's super dark and you can't really see anything. It's the kind of night where you're like, oh, it could be like this for days and days, and we could sit here forever and no one will show up, and who knows?
It could be 30 days of night.
Yeah, like literally.
So is there like a terminal that he has to get feedback from the signal device to see if we get like a response?
Like if there is a response, there might be a signal that will respond on the machine. It's basically the thing is basically like a weird ham radio on stilts.
Okay.
Right? And it's got like it's got the classic like wrong green thing with the little line on it and stuff like that. The unnecessary display that always shows up just so you know it's working. It's got a red light, that kind of thing, some switches. But the thing that really matters is like the speaker thing and the keyboard, right? All the other parts is like, oh, it's bells and whistles. We don't really need this here. But it's so people know what it is and it is a machine that matters. But yeah, you could theoretically stay here forever. There's no way of knowing if the signal is getting out or being received.
Well, I suppose we should sit here for at least a half hour, see if we get anything back.
That is fair.
Might as well sit down. It's not going to get any colder with these suits on.
Yep. So he, knowing that there's time, does various things. He adjusts the modulation, switches to various channels. He actually actively uses the microphone and says, this this is Falcon to Terra Nova checking in. This is a Mayday. We need extraction. And he repeats it over and over again, different channels. He will keep doing this for half an hour unless you interrupt and try to converse with him.
Nope, I think I'm good.
All right. So back to the team on the inside. You're now. Yep.
Oh,
yeah. So everyone was staring weirdly at. It's like, wait, what do you mean? Are you crazy?
All I'm saying is, if I were crying out in pain in these caves, I'd want someone to come help me.
You're a human, mate. We could help you.
They were human. They could have been.
I'm going to need proof of that. We have no proof that they were human.
Think of this way also. Think of if we venture out too far and something happens to us, there's nothing at all to do with this creature. You take one wrong turn, you fall down a shaft, you break your leg, just like me.
Mm-hmm. Or stalagmites fall.
And then
stalactites.
and then
Stalagmites could fall.
How are we going to make it back in time if they've set up the signal and the rescue crew's on the way?
I've tried to appeal to your humanity. There's no logic in it at all. I just know that there's something that needs help, and I want to help it.
I respect your views. I really do. When we get back to home, I'll go vegan for you, bruv. But we gotta make it home first.
Harry is right. There's no point if we don't get out of here. We can't afford to go help an animal when human lives are on the line.
And also, if things are true where, big money's at hand, who's to say you couldn't come back here?
All right, fair enough.
I know I'm not. I know once I leave here, I'm never coming back here. But
I'm not daft enough to go out there alone. If no one else wants to help this poor animal, then I'll just have to ignore it.
And at the moment you say ignore it, the cry comes forward. Sad, pensive, drawing on your heartstrings. Everyone hears it, but not
everyone feels it.
You feel it on such a deep level. This is like letting your mature baby die by realizing
by dodging it.
By dodging.
It's like your baby's being tossed through the air.
But I can't dodge it
All
this time.
All you have to do is catch it.
I have to catch it this time.
It's like pulling the plug on a dying relative. It is heartbreaking.
There is no way you're going to convince us of that kind of feeling.
If only I could verbalize the pain that I hear from that voice, but apparently...
Call in response?
Mate, you're a singer.
You call in response?
You're a singer, mate. This is how you get your emotions out.
You could write a
I know.
Yuri and Harry bring it up.
Them.
I know.
No, I'm not actually bringing that up. Well, I'm just planting the seed.
No, but I say, I'm not telling him to call and response, but I'm not the biggest fan of your music, but I'll listen to you sing if you need if you need to challenge some of your feelings out.
I'll do that. I'll do a little singing.
Oh.
I don't actually want you
Here's your
to.
chance to use that one weird skill that you probably took.
50-50.
Not have had it come up.
It's only 50.
Listen, okay.
We've
It's
heard
really
the story.
hard. You're looking at your
It is such a
skills
waste.
sheet, and it's like, do I really make singing the
Stat
stat
building
that I
in Call of
succeed?
Cthulhu is a challenge.
Literally,
We're making it 50-50.
you have that one skill just for this moment and only this
gotta
moment.
make
Next
it go
season, I'm
up.
definitely going to modify character creation in some way so that this doesn't happen.
Well, I succeed with a 39.
All
out of
right.
50.
Right.
I didn't actually want you to succeed.
And because this is your story skill, go ahead and make a listen check as well.
I failed at 78 over 70.
Really?
I'll
could.
spend some
8
luck to
luck?
bring that down to 70.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a burn.
I know. Because like I thought for sure these
I
were
want to
like,
hear this.
Yep.
Is this to like harmonize or something? Like,
Yes.
Let's listen. Oh, okay. Sweet.
All right, you got it?
Yeah.
All right. So you start to sing. Like, and your singing is like the speaking in tongues kind of singing. You're just verbalizing feelings at this point. And everyone who is listening can tell that it sounds really beautiful. Like, it's like whale song mixed with like the sound of the rainforest. And it sounds amazingly similar to the sound of the beasts.
Ooh.
That
Like-
freaks me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
like
that's not
chills?
calming to me.
Like, you're surprisingly good at it. And you feel that you are actually connecting. Like, there's a deep sense. Like, that feeling you get when you see witchcraft happening. This is like the flip side
is
of
the
that.
opposite?
This is the other side of the coin where you feel the warm energy of the spiritual world fulfilling yourself. There's an energy, there's a connection, there is an intimacy that you thought that all of those like crazy fans yelling, caring nothing but to just hook up with members of the band that you never thought you would experience again. That is what you're feeling now. It's an ecstasy of intimacy that you did not think you could ever find again. It was what was missing that drove you to leave the band to become an environmentalist. And it is here in these caves.
So emotional. Oh.
Oh, right, keep your pants on, bruv.
Oh, you're not hearing this. It's beautiful. I haven't felt this raw emotion before.
Well,
And the creature responds. And there is that howling again. But it feels clearly more... It's not sad now. It's familiar. Like, not friendly, but like when you're in another country and you don't speak the language and you meet someone who is from your country and speaks your language, that feeling of comfort and reaffirmation and satisfaction. And everyone who's listening can hear the change of tone. Like, they're like, oh yeah, I feel this.
right, I'm feeling it. Yeah.
Deborah goes, I don't know what you guys are done with your kumbaya stuff, but we got to get back now. It's cold here. We got to make sure we're back at the sled so when Koa and goddamn Danny gets back, we'll be where they're looking for us. We can't get diverted. We can't, like, change course. We definitely can't go and shoot some creature.
Ringo,
So we are returning to the sled?
Yes, so they can find us.
Okay.
Ringo, are you going to be okay with us leaving?
You're
No,
not
come,
okay.
come with us.
No.
Ringo,
But the alternative is just going off on your own.
I'm so torn right now.
are you torn about
don't-
actually leaving the cave?
You would go and kill this creature?
No! I could not kill it. I haven't felt this emotional connection to something in a very long time. I feel like I am slipping It's
Bro, we don't have to
it's
kill
like I'm on the stage again before it all dimmed. I feel a connection with the beast. I cannot leave it.
You can't leave it.
You'll have to track me out.
I'm not going to drag you out if you want to stay in this cave.
I don't know what I want.
I will drag him out.
Oh,
I want to live, but I want to feel what I just felt again. Mate, I feel like I belong. I feel like the world is right again. I'm able to forget the horrors, the travesties.
I mean, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I'm afraid of you getting too close to it and then you losing yourself. I mean, you might feel like you've regained something that you once had. I'm afraid you're getting something that is not like yourself. That was
Ringo, it is this place messing with your mind.
I don't know what to do.
This place corrupts us.
Deborah. Is
We're going. If he wants to stay, he can stay. But we can't afford to like just hang out here and have this argument with him.
mate, I finally respect you, but I respect you too much to, force you to do something you're not going to do. For my own safety, I'm not going to go against whatever you're doing. But you need to know, I'll leave you.
Is the animal making any sounds right now?
Nope.
All right,
The sled is deeper in the cave. Like, that's where we're going anyway.
We're going
toward-
deeper.
Well, yeah, we're
Well,
going
it's back where you left the
back
sled.
toward the
halfway
warmer
between here
area
and
where the
there.
sled is towards the creature. Like, it's all...
Okay, it's not making noises. Maybe I can ignore it. Maybe I can forget about it.
Here, you borrow my earplugs.
Yes, earplugs,
yeah.
please. Give me the earplugs.
So you put on the earplugs, and it seems better. Not by much. Once you've really experienced true love, it's kind of hard to forget what it was like.
It's true love.
Can't put that genie back in the bottle.
But yeah, these guys. Yuri is cold. It's like anything that had to do with intimacy is like
Beauty and the Beast.
so. Yes.
Beast and the Beast. A couple of beasts.
Well, not yet. The transformation takes.
I
years.
know. I know.
Couple of Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys.
He learns to rap from it. All right, so
Me Momo Beast Boy.
so you guys head back, dragging unfortunately the apparently even slower than usual Ringo, who's just mopey. Like, this is the opposite of Danny's experience with Kowa. It's almost like Kowa took all the joy that Ringo had and absorbed it into himself and left him with just his sadness.
Wow, what an
It's like,
I have a feeling that, like, the moment he crossed the threshold out of the cave, that was what regained all of the joy.
Yeah.
And that this cave is zapping away all
you can only
all of
spend
our-
so much time inside an alien skeleton
Yeah, I
structure
know.
and like not lose your mind. So yeah, you guys are heading back to the sled, and when you get close, before you actually return to the sled, you can see the sled, and you can see Morty standing next to the sled.
Wow, that is ominous.
I like we slow
how-
to a
how-
stop.
how-
How far away
Yeah,
are we
yeah,
at this
how far
point?
away?
You can see him from like over 100 feet away, like because you've been walking, you have your flashlights out. It's like the range of your flashlight, like it doesn't take very long for you to scan far enough to say, wait, there's someone over there, and then you stop and you slowly get in. Within about 100 feet you can
Like,
see that that's like Morty there.
We have our weapons out.
Yep, you do.
Morty, what are you doing here?
No answer. It's just that body.
Can we make out his
looking
face?
at you? Yeah, it's still his face. It looks a little bit worn, like when you saw him out there frozen in the tundra. So it's a little bit like it clearly has that weird like one droopy side, like not all. It's not okay.
Does he blink?
Nope. In fact, he doesn't seem to be moving. He's just standing there, stock still, the way that only a corpse could do.
Okay. Do I put a bullet in his brain? All in favor?
Deborah is in favor of like shooting it in the head.
I mean,
Should probably get a little closer. Wait, the range
Yeah,
is 110
yes.
yards?
110 yards.
Oh, yeah, you're fine.
even if it's a witch, a bullet will do the job.
Yeah. Yeah. All but one.
Okay. I'll make a shot.
Here we go.
There are 23 witches, so 1 out of 23 chance.
Ooh, 97 over 90.
Oh, no! He misses.
Nick Millman, everyone. Always the most dramatic, no matter what.
all these 90s still missing half
Yeah,
his
I'm
skill
like,
rolls.
fail my 90 skills, then roll 0x.
Oh, Morty. Morty's suddenly so sexy.
So,
Oh, Morty shoots back.
Morty's hungry.
No, Morty's not going to shoot back. Well, at least not in the tradition.
Yuri shot
The
first.
traditional way.
Yeah,
Oh
so-
no.
So you fire, and there's that moment of the report of the gun and the flash of the muzzle, and Morty's gone. Like, as soon as the flash dies away and everyone looks, he's just not there.
Was that a gunshot? What's happening?
I missed.
Yep.
I'm certain that I missed.
Everyone can tell because they can kind of see where you hit the sled and like the pack that was there.
Right.
So,
That's one hell of a time to miss.
This is Dee Dee. We just heard a gunshot. What's going on back there? Over.
did you from where you are?
Yeah, did you? You walked for an hour.
Yeah,
Oh.
you're quite far out.
You
You
didn't.
wouldn't have heard it.
And you're outside. There's wind and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And you're in
okay.
your
I thought we
suits.
were at the mouth of the cave.
You are.
Okay. But it's a gunshot echoing in a cavern network?
It is, but you're also outside in your outfits.
And there's wind.
All right.
The
Never mind
environment,
then.
you know.
I even made it very clear that you weren't really hearing a lot of noise from
Uh-huh.
outside. So unless they had their microphone, it's like, we're about to fire now. Listen, you're not hearing much
Okay,
of what's going
okay.
on from outside.
Remember
There's a non-zero chance that if you were out there, you could have heard something, but in your outfits, no.
when there was that shadow on the wall, and it was just there, and we were just shining our flashlight at it, and it wasn't moving, and then we moved the flashlight just away, just long enough for it to disappear.
It was going.
Whatever the fuck this is, it's playing its optical illusion on us.
Are you
Could it-
saying?
I'm telling you,
same
mate.
thing, you think?
Like,
But Morty's body was outside of the cave. This was inside the cave just after that.
literally anything could be possible now. I'm thoroughly convinced that it's got the ability to, if it can convince Ringo to feel sorry for it, it can mimic things. It can get us to feel things.
So you think this is still that same creature?
I feel.
This seems. To
I mean,
be
I feel like
something
I'm
else.
going crazy, but I really do.
No, we all saw it.
Look, whether it's an illusion or not, we gotta get back over there. If it's real, we have a gun. We all have guns.
I've got my gun ready to now.
And if it's not real, then it's not real, and it can't hurt us. But we got to get back over there.
Yeah, I've got my gun ready.
Yeah, and she kind of pretty boldly just starts walking over to the thing. It's like she kind of trusts that, like she gives you a look, like
That we got her back.
yeah, you guys can handle yourselves.
Okay.
She sees that you're ready. She has
We'll head
her
over
gun
there.
out.
If she's walking,
Ringo does not have his
Is-
gun out.
No.
if she's going forward,
Yeah, she
then
is.
I've gotta go forward.
Is the sled like in a pretty defensible position? Like it's not like surrounded by stalagmites.
It is like it's not in a very. It's like kind of out in the open. Like it's.
Well,
the
I'd rather
sled-
be out in the open than surrounded by stalagmites.
Oh no,
up
it's not
close.
surrounded by. Yeah, it's more out in the open, but it's like, it's in an area where it has more stalagmites on you. It's why you can't bring it any.
Yeah,
further.
like there are a bunch of
Right.
stalagmites nearby.
Yes.
but it's not like surrounded.
No, it's not. Yeah, you because the side that you brought it from was like mostly open area. You just abandoned it up to as far as you thought you could drag it any further, and the terrain got too rocky and unsteady. So yeah, you could approach it. Basically, if anything was hiding here, it would be either on the closer side of where you are or hiding behind the sled itself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or, as you noted before, apparently you can hide under the sled.
Well, this is also the
Worked
the
so well.
That worked out so well last
this is like the
time.
makeshift
This is the
sled that we
makeshift
made. So this is more like
Imagine me having to do
like
that
a
a second
flat
time.
bed, sort of like skiff thing. Is what I pictured.
Yeah, although you did use
It gets
some of the
the
metal
second
railing to try to reinforce making a sled, so it does have some raised area under it.
Oh,
Like,
it is raised. Okay.
Yeah, you just could. It's just not as much as the last. You probably couldn't fit under it anymore.
That's what I think.
Right, we're going forward.
All right, so you get to the sled and you quickly recon around it, and yeah, there's nothing here. There's a hole. Some of your food, like a sack of power bars, has been blown away. It's like bam, there goes the chocolate granola. It's like the good ones.
Banana
They can't keep getting away with this.
You really failed your luck here. The banana walnut ones are fine. Those are still okay.
Right, let's make quick work of this.
Yeah, it's just waiting now.
Just take another shot. It's not like it's moving.
There's nothing
No,
here.
it's not
to
there.
shoot
Oh,
at.
that's right. Yeah,
It
that's
disappeared.
Yeah, there's nothing here to shoot at.
Well, we're just gonna have to move on, right?
No, this is where you're waiting. You're staking out camp here.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
There's
Well,
this is our warm alternative
This
to
is
the
the
cold
spot they
spots
think
it's,
that
yeah.
we would have been. Yeah.
And the sound, the wailing, the call. This time, it's clearly a call.
all right. I have my headphones in, or not the headphones.
Your
earplugs.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, so it's hard to hear, but these aren't perfect. It's enough that you can still hear your friends talking to you. These are like those kinds of earplugs that you have on the airplane, like the little orange ones. These aren't like the super heavy duty noise canceling ones that you can't hear anything at all. So yeah, this sound is penetrating your thoughts in your brain. And this time it is a call. This is not like a wailing.
Boy.
This is a like, Mommy, where are you? Didn't you just say you were coming?
No,
Why aren't you here yet?
no, I can't.
The rest of you can hear it, but it just sounds like more of the wailing.
I can't. I need. If I listen to that wail for 5 more minutes, I'm gonna be running to it. I need to get out of this cave. It's calling to me. It needs me.
I think you need to get some rest.
This is going to be a problem. Yuri, can you give him anything?
Sleeping pill?
You can give him a heavy sedative and knock him out. But then you have to carry him around if it gets to that.
Well, we will just wait here, but yeah.
Yuri is going to try to give you a sedative.
What? Yeah,
Do
I will
you
say like,
resist?
would
I don't
you
want-
like a sedative?
I don't want anything from you, Yuri. I don't. Not
Here,
not
here is the sedative. I give it to Deborah
not.
or Harry.
I mean, I don't trust what you're gonna do to Harry or what you did to Harry.
Harry is fine.
Is he? Let me look at him.
Are
huh?
you fine?
I mean, I feel pretty great.
You feel great.
I mean,
Clearly the anesthesia has worn off by now, but you still feel great. Like, there's no pain. There's no...
he says that. I look at my leg again.
Well, there's a big bandage on it where he taped it over, where the cuts were. So it's covering the entire area.
I forgot.
Who even knows what's under the
So you can't see under the bandage unless you take it off.
Who even knows what's under the band?
I mean, I feel great. I feel great.
You do.
But anyway, about you, you're not feeling so great, and you don't want any sleeping aid.
I don't want any sleeping aid from him. If you have some, I'll gladly take it.
I don't think I have any on me. I wasn't the medic here.
Look, they're clearly labeled like the.
Yuri has been in charge of it the whole time.
The only
so...
other thing I could suggest is if you just get drunk off some vodka. But I mean, I'm only recommending that for you ignoring the sound, but I don't recommend it at all, actually.
If you won't
You
take a
should have your wits
sedative-
about you.
Look, at least take Ambien.
Oh, great. Now you have like
Like,
sleepwalking.
his brand. His brand name.
Ambien is exactly what happens when everyone
nothing.
wakes up and he's gone.
You could be you should be robo tripping.
Oh,
The last time there was
That is a
an
sleeping
Ambien-
pill, right?
Yeah.
It's the sleeping pill that leads to some people that's like sleepwalking and have things.
Yeah.
It's like-
this
it's
is the
like
only one I
that.
can think of.
Like my buddy he already had a bunch of mental illness problems, took an Ambien one time when he was staying with us, and was gone in the morning. And 5 days later, we got a call from the Harborview Hospital, and they said, "Oh yeah, your friend finally got lucid, and told us who he was and said he was staying with you." And I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, we found him naked on the street in Capitol Hill, and we brought him in, and it took 5 days to get him out of detox."
See, that's the worst place because that's the one place in Seattle that a naked person on the street, most people just be like, I'm going about my day.
Yep, exactly.
This is the place where the naked people go.
Yeah, and
true.
the police took him in.
No-
and-
nothing out of the ordinary here.
Yeah, he ended
It's
up
like,
in-
well, I guess no one else is calling.
yeah, we called his phone. We couldn't get a hold of him. We're like, well, I guess he's dead. And like, so yeah, I've always had this whole like Ambien thing where it's like, oh yeah, Ambien, the naked on Capitol Hill drug.
Right, mate, I wish I had something for you. I don't know if I have anything for you other than just...
Deborah speaks
Advice.
up and says, look, you either take the sedative, or at some point it's probably going to have to be a blow to the head. You get me? We can't have you putting us all at risk by going off half-cocked.
all right. Well, if you're gonna threaten me with a gun,
No. We're just going to knock you out. I'm not going to shoot you in the head, buddy. I'm not that kind of scientist.
you almost shot Danny in the head.
I pointed a gun at him. I wasn't really going to shoot him. You know how those stupid billionaire playboys are? They're cowards. I didn't think he was actually going to, like, step up.
Okay. Well, give me the Ambien then. I'll take the Ambien.
No, we're not going to give you Ambien. That's crazy
Oh, that's
talk.
right. We just had the business.
We'll give
Give-
you the better,
give me the sleeping
better
pills.
stuff.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Whatever
I'll take
I
it.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
I
can
just-
give him
I
a
just
full
want-
sedative that'll knock him out.
Want to
Sure.
stop the wailing?
Yep.
Can't take it
Okay.
anymore.
So he
I want you-
gives you
yeah.
a real normal sedative.
I
Doesn't
want you
take
to
any...
look at my fingers and count backwards from 100.
Okay, 100.
You get to 98.
Okay.
It's like... This happened to me one time. I was at the hospital, and they said, we're going to give you this shot, and it's going to knock you out. It'll take a while. And it's like, they gave it to me, and within like 2 seconds, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what happens when it goes right into your bloodstream. Now I understand drug users. Yeah, I did not make it past like 95. Like, so yeah, he gives you a good injection, and you are gone. So now, Ringo is unconscious.
No need to
You
worry
now have a
about
floppy
that.
body in addition to all the other things you have to deal with. You gotta roll him next to the thing, you prop him up by the thing, or by the sled, and we're back to you guys. So, you're out there,
been half
they've been
an
saying
hour?
the signal, it doesn't get to half an hour,
Okay.
because 20 minutes in, you don't hear, you see a speck in the darkness, which normally you wouldn't be able to because it's pitch black out there and there's only the light of the stars. But this thing is a moving light. So, you look in the sky and there's a little like thing, and it's like, oh look, it's a satellite. Wait a minute, it's blinking. Oh my gosh, it's a helicopter.
Koval.
It's the rescue people.
It's the rescue people.
Koval sees it too. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. They must have gotten the signal the first time we sent it. We didn't think there was any chance they'd get here so fast.
I'm so glad to be rescued. You
Oh my god.
So it's
Dude, the aliens,
it's
dude.
the aliens.
I love it.
Helicoptering aliens.
So
For sure.
yeah, it's like you wait and you see it is the rescue copter from the ship, and like they are
Like turn on our headlamps and we're
Nice.
like waving.
Yep. So you both do the crazy thing that never really works in real life, where it's like
Wait,
The
we got
people
a
out there.
flare gun.
You do have a flare gun.
And flares. I take out a flare and
Yes.
I light the flare.
Yep.
I'm
so
waving the flare.
There you go.
fire off your flare. You
I'm
put it up there.
rich.
And that's right. You gotta save me. I got money.
Keep you safe.
Yeah. Like, he's got a flare gun and that gun that shoots bells.
He's shooting flaming bills
Yeah,
in the
start-
air.
You know, I brought this little party popper for when we got back after the trip, but this seems like a good time as any.
Fireworks.
Start waving your black American Express card.
I'm telling you, that card has probably saved some lives at some point. It's like, I would have died if it didn't stop a bullet. Luckily, you have the black card.
Roll for your black card.
It was hilarious. I was like telling someone the other day, I said, oh yeah, it's like $100,000 a year for the annual fee for this. And it's like, that can't be right. So I'm pretty sure I remember it's $100,000 a year. It turns out it's not. It's a one-time fee of $75,000 to pay in, and the annual fee is $25,000 a year. So it's not $100,000 a year.
Oh yeah, just the version.
Just 25,000.
Yeah. All right. So the helicopter is
Yeah.
like now close enough that it's high beam. You know how it always has that one beam of light they shine on you like on cops? So that beam of light is now shining right onto you guys. And it's coptering in.
It's burning white.
Yes, it's burning white. It's like if you weren't wearing these special suits, you'd have to put on your like sunglasses, but the suit has like the glare reflection shield and everything. So yeah, the copter lands like a reasonable distance away from you. It seems very fine. The doors get thrown open, and lo and behold, there is Billy with 4 guys in
Billy Locklear.
what appear to be action suits. They've got like guns, like these are like shock troop type things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deck to the nines.
Yep. They
That's interesting.
and they come running over like disciplined shock troops, like
Okay.
and they get over here and like they're in also appropriate outfit for this kind of terrain, and they go. What's happened? Is it just the 2 of you left?
No, the others are back in the cave about an hour back, but we came out here because these are the only suits we have, and we had to send the signal.
All right. Well, we're gonna need one of you to take us back to where we find the rest of them, so we can extract the rest of them. But one of you should get back on the chopper so we can get you guys back.
Okay, I look at Koval. What is he doing?
Koval looks at you and goes. He while you guys can't really see each other because you're in your
Yeah.
suits, so you got
Yep.
masks on.
Yeah.
But he goes. Oh, what do you think, boss?
I slap him on the back, and I'm like, well, Koval, you got me out of this. And Didi does not forget. I get on the copter.
Nice.
I will not forget your sacrifice, go on.
I was wondering how quick you'd get on there. I'm amazed you even had that caveat.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
He could have
All
been
right.
like, well, see ya.
I want to imagine if any of us get to make it to the copter, we will see you and you'll already be like in a lounge suit with a cigar
Enjoying
in the copter.
That would be great if that was any of that was available on this helicopter.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So you're out. So
You're like kind of annoyed that there isn't a little like fridge bar in the copter.
yeah.
like, what is
it's
this?
a helicopter. There's like unlike actual helicopters are the most dangerous things in the sky. Like
It's like, I thought I put 10,000 aside for the cigars in the helicopter.
yeah.
Where's the celebration champagne?
Every time I read more about helicopters, the more I'm like, I'm never getting in one of these things. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that mini fridge, it killed them all.
Helicopters are super cool. The way they're set up with no power, they can get to the ground.
See, that's just it. It sounds like
Just
that.
because the act of falling powers the propellers, which slow the descent.
Mm-hmm. Except to the
so
physics of like
cool.
what happens when a small object impacts the propeller.
like every
Doesn't
they're
happen
like-
much.
my knowledge of the science of helicopters is super cool. I still definitely want to ride one. Like I've always wanted to go on that
I don't want
Grand Canyon tour. But the thing is that every time something happens to a helicopter, I'm like, these are the most vulnerable things ever. Like, every little thing destroys it. But apparently that's the same with airplanes nowadays. So who cares?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're out, and
Extracted.
yes, you're not gone yet.
Not
You're just
quite.
sitting on a helicopter waiting around. But they do close the doors and it's warm in here. So
Okay, they don't shoot me in the head yet. I'm good.
yeah, nobody shoots you. Those guys are in for. So back to you guys. Let's see whether or not they.
I imagine I'm sleeping.
Yes,
but
you
it's
are.
very restless.
It's
Like I'm moving a lot.
sure. It's going to be slightly worse than that, but that is a good beginning.
Okay.
I don't want to be presumptuous, but I mean, we do have our walkie-talkies. If somebody wants to alert us that
Nah.
somebody's on the way.
Oh no,
Excited.
that's absolutely the case.
Okay.
Once the extraction team starts coming in, they immediately radio you and let you know that they're on their way. To sit tight, not go anywhere. They're gonna get to you. They've looked at the numbers. Caldwell has briefed them. They should be able to get to where you are within 3 hours. So sit tight. You'll be fine. We're getting you out. You're gonna be okay.
3 hours, huh? It was an hour's walk.
It was 2 hours out for the group from where you were left for them to get out to.
Oh, and so we spent
cave
an
up.
hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you guys spend
Okay,
an hour
sure.
getting back this way. So it's gonna be 3 hours for them to get to you.
We shouldn't go and meet them?
And then also 3 hours to get back to the helicopter.
Oh, the thing is that they're more worried about you losing your way on the way back. And it's
Exactly.
like, we went from this spot that they know where you are, and if you guys get turned around, you'll cross each other in the darkness, and then it's just more like crazy
Chaos,
lost
yeah.
time.
Sure. Okay.
That's not to say you
man.
couldn't do it, but then you also have to drag this unconscious person with you.
Yeah,
So
true.
You could leave me behind.
No.
No.
Our intention isn't to leave you behind, but our intention is also not to like nobly sacrifice ourselves because you also feel like you need to stay.
I did shoot the last guy who cried like a sphinx in the face.
Yeah, you didn't even have to have a conversation with him.
Yeah,
you just did it.
saw it and you're like, oh.
but
I
that
was
last
like,
guy,
well,
He disappeared. It was very suspicious.
and you had never heard that last guy on the radio.
and
This
it was
guy
like
is-
exactly. This was like a human voice imitating. Yeah.
It is true. So you have very restless sleep, and if you could even call it that, because this isn't sleep, you've been sedated. And so yes, inside your mind, you are twisting and turning and like, and you wake up and it's just you propped up against the sled, and all your friends are gone.
They left me behind.
By yourself.
That witch! Yuri poisoned me. I knew I shouldn't have trusted him. There's only one thing that I can trust now.
It's true.
And I yell out like the monster.
Oh, exactly. So, in the waking world, you see.
I see some shit.
Yeah. So in the waking, you
See something, say
Ringo,
something. I
like-
saw some shit.
Like kind of, you know how when people are having bad dreams and they kind of twitch.
Yeah.
You see him doing that, and you guys are all watching him because there's nothing else going on. So you're just like,
I'm watching him, but I'm backing away from him.
okay. And then he opens his mouth, and you hear the sound of the creature.
The exact sound, like not human.
Yes. His eyes are closed. He's clearly still.
Sleeping.
I have my gun trained on him.
All right. So you call out. The creature calls back out to you, and this time, it is just a human voice. And it's like, Ringo, finally, you've come. We've been waiting for someone to come rescue us all this time.
I'm here. I'm not gonna hurt you like the others.
Oh, of course not. We know that you came because you care. You came to solve the problems. And you know what? That's why we came. And we found the answer. We just got stuck here. We couldn't bring it out with us. If you come to us now, we can get it out together.
Yes, we'll get it out. We'll solve everything, won't we? I just need to find you. Where are you? Let me call.
Just follow my voice.
I'm following.
You have your gun trained on him. His body twitches a little bit. He lets out another cry, just like the creature's sound. And then he slowly gets up.
Restrain him.
His eyes are still closed.
No, I'm not grabbing him.
Deborah?
Deborah basically walks up and is ready to do that thing that she promised, which is going to hit him in the back of the head. So she takes the butt of her gun and basically tries to just hits him super hard in the back of the head. And you can hear the crack. And a trickle of blood is visible in the flashlight just behind his ear. And Ringo's head pitches forward a moment. And then he just starts to lumber forward. Like that kind of zombie-like movement. And in your mind, you are just walking through the cave structure now, heading towards where you think the voice is.
Now, am I walking in pure darkness?
You have your flashlight.
I have a flashlight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna, if Deborah doesn't move to restrain him,
she doesn't.
I'm gonna throw my gun over my shoulder and run forward and try and restrain him physically.
Okay, so you grab him from behind, I'm guessing one of those wrestling holds, and
Full Nelson.
You bring him up, and he's kind of like a rag doll. He's not resisting, he's not fighting you, and it seems like his body is just kind of moving on his own. You pull him off the ground a little bit, and his legs are still walking-ish. But it's like he's autonomously moving, but not consciously in any way. He's not aware that you can. It doesn't seem like he's aware that you're interacting with him at all.
It looks like he's being controlled.
Yeah.
Yuri, mate, do you think it's smart to be holding him?
Well, let's restrain him physically, tie his legs and arms together.
I don't know.
Go grab that rope from the sled. It's under that bundle there.
Deborah goes and grabs him.
Okay.
And very quickly, Deborah comes over.
She hog tie him.
She hog ties his feet together. She straps his arms behind his back and stuff like that. It does not look comfortable. Deborah does not seem to be being gentle about this process. And so the way Ringo is tied up, it looks like if you left him long enough, it would actually affect his circulation. But at this point, you guys just don't have time to make this gentle.
I'm gonna take a look at his head wound and
it's not great.
It's
the kind of concussion type of thing. It's
more than she should have used.
Yeah, she hit him very hard. That crap may have caused a concussion, if not a hairline fracture. You should make a medicine check.
Ooh. Seriously,
This
in
is
real life,
not
knocking
nothing.
people out doesn't go well.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, it's not like in the movies where it seems like it's so
All right,
easy to navigate.
15 is extreme success.
Oh my gosh.
No,
It's not-
what's gonna happen?
It's not like Lost.
Witch.
23 is not a mythos success.
Unless you want to burn luck.
I don't have enough luck to burn, honestly.
He spent all of his luck to
Actually,
become
if
a
I spent all
magician.
14 luck, I would get to 9. I would go to 0. No.
That seems like the wrong time, unless you really, really wanted to turn Ringo into something else.
Do it for the vine. Do it for the. Do it.
my head.
Do it for the gram.
Yeah. So you start to patch him up. If he doesn't have a concussion, it's because he's very lucky. So
It's just like Lost.
yep. So you bind him up and you take care of him, and lo and behold, after nothing super interesting happens, and the rescue team arrives, and you all get extracted. This is the epilogue part, because this was the end part. I didn't think we would get here because you split the party.
No more Morty.
Yes, but So as far as the actual physical play part is done, this is the epilogue part based on where you guys got to with your characters and what you decide to do. So Danny gets back. He is still a billionaire. You were going to use this results to try to figure out how to save your child. To what degree do you, like, are you doing this on your own? What are you taking from the expedition to try to do this? You know Deborah has the samples and all the things that she brought back from the lab. You're aware that she works with some kind of agency that was not specifically involved.
I'm gonna try and go. I don't like Deborah, so I'm gonna try and go over her head to Herbert Industries and leverage, my money, but also eventually I find out that my book's gone.
Yes, you do find out she has it.
Yeah, and I guess that she has it, and that's actually fine because I was gonna give it to them anyway.
Yep.
Because that's how you get things. You give things to people. It's not a quid pro quo per se, but so
Quid pro eventually.
Yeah, you just do each other's favors.
we do each other favors.
Yeah.
Try and use that to get access.
You are successful in doing so. Herbert Industry is very appreciative of your partnership and cooperation. They're very interested in future work with you. Your funding could be very helpful. You've seen things and you seem to have handled yourself well. They're more than happy to cooperate with you. Your son is given the opportunity to be transported to a Herbert Industries private institution where they can work on therapies for him. There's a flash forward scene to a year later. This is that classic epilogue where it's like each person gets their 1 year later scene. And your son is fully healed and fine. You and your wife and he are like at a company event and things like that. Everything seems great. And the final scene in your epilogue is that everything's finishing up, and the only thing that turns out is that at the end there's a close-up of your son's face, and it's very clear that his two eyes are now different colors in a very subtle way, and whatever cure they used to implement on him has just changed his eye color.
Just his eye color.
Yeah, just changed his eye color.
That's an
Definitely
unusually
not
happy
cloned.
ending.
Yes. Harry, you are offered a physical makeover to make sure that you're fine. They thank you for all of your efforts for the thing. You are paid well, including a bonus for the successful outcome of the expedition. During the physical examination, they realize that they examine you to make sure you're fine. They realize you've lost your eye, which is a significant. So there's this. Everyone has like an interesting life insurance policy. Like basically, it's that $1 million life insurance policy. But all life insurance policy comes with a death and dismemberment benefit. And it turns out like losing your eye gets you a $250,000 additional payout from the insurance.
Okay.
And so you're doing pretty fine. The thing that's interesting is that when they remove the bandage from your leg, you are completely healed. There's no indication of injury. There is no incision wound. But there's something odd about the part of the flesh that was healed in that area. It's discolored in an odd way. It's got an almost like mauve greenish tinge to it.
Kind of how my leg actually looks
So
in real life.
yeah, and so they're like, well, this is very interesting. Like, would you mind if we took a little biopsy and like see if like everything's all right here?
Yes.
And so they biopsy it, and they come back and tell you that they don't know what's happened, but there's something odd, unusual, and wrong with this part of your leg. And they give you this whole rundown. But basically, it's no longer what... The closest thing they can tell you is that that part of your leg is no longer human flesh. It's more like salamander flesh. It's got some kind of automatically regenerative properties to it. and it is stronger and better and somehow fully integrated with the rest of your leg that does become human flesh, and they have no idea what it's like, they would very, very much like for you to stay around and maybe work for them so they can keep studying it. But they can't legally keep you.
I would love to work with you.
Oh, brilliant. So you are given the opportunity to be a level 3 agent. What that means is that you're not a janitor anymore. You're basically a low-level field operator. Like when there is a field operation, you're the guy who comes as the jack of all trades. You get to carry a gun, you get to shoot things.
Nice.
You're not in charge of anything. But
I've got room for upward mobility.
Yeah, you're on the short list of people who will who's on call. Like when the Debras are sent out, if they need someone that's a backup, they would call upon you.
Yeah, code name Lizard Leg.
And this is the agency.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and 1 year later, in your Ford, you're sitting in a meeting room where they're briefing you on an operation that you're about to go out on. And as they see you sitting there, and as the camera pans out, the person giving you the briefing is Caldwell.
Yeah. Of course.
Ringo.
Yeah. I bet I get a sad ending.
Yes, it's is not good. 1 year from the time you're out there, there is a close-up image of the back of your head, and you're sitting in a chair in an industrial-looking room, and you're just looking out the window at like a pastoral like scene. And as the camera pans out, you're basically in a one-person room, and your hair is a bit disheveled. And as the camera pans around, you look 20 years older. Like there's this aged look on your face, there's wrinkles. It's very obvious that this is you as if you had aged 20 years in the past year. And there's a small knocking on your door, and you just give like almost an inaudible grunt, and the door opens, and a woman in a nurse's outfit comes in and says, "Mr. Stiles, it's time for your pills." And she has like a little cup of pills that she hands to you. You casually take them without even looking at her, and she hands you a glass of water, and you take the pills, and she just lets herself out and closes the door behind you, and you stare out the window again.
Ripped from my love.
God.
Also, I
never stopped that tweet.
You never stopped that tweet, and so your very final tweet is about how you died, and yet you're a crazy person who didn't die.
Yeah, I mean it'll be a great like tabloid story, but like that guy never actually died. He's in an insane asylum. I looked it up.
Happened?
You're the subject of very many YouTube deep web
Everyone
creepypasta.
On the actual Cthulhu adventure.
Yeah,
Like,
creepypastas.
everyone
There are so
else
many
came back and they
Yeah,
were all
all these
fine. In
theories.
fact, they said that the trip just went normal.
I don't know if Yuri's
He's
fine.
the only person who said that things went differently.
There's no way to know if Yuri's fine. We'll find out.
Yuri,
Crazy.
Yeah.
you are in the 1 year later scene, and you are standing over a cadaver, and the look on your face is that look of someone who is in the zone doing surgery. As the camera pans, it's a almost mirror image of the look on your face when you were doing your bit with Harry.
Sure.
And you've got your hands on one hand over the chest and the other one over the head of this cadaver. It's very clearly a dead body. You can even see like the where the autopsy cuts and sewing up has happened. And you've got this deep concentration, and as the camera pans out, you're in a lab of some kind where this cadaver is in front of you. The camera comes through a small window, and it's very clear that you are in a containment lab. There are bars on the window, there are bars on the glass, and there are two people in lab coats looking through the glass. One of them has a clipboard, and she turns to the person next to him and goes, "He's definitely making more progress, but he's not there yet. We think we can get him there. We just need more development."
Just need more time.
Nice.
Yep.
Dude, you're a necromancer.
You're, yeah, and a prisoner.
He's
of the agency.
necromancer subject number 462079.
You are
The
too
greatest doctor this world has ever. The greatest surgeon.
Yeah, and too dangerous to have been left to go out into the world.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Sure.
They knew what you
I
were.
got 10 sanity. Yeah.
Yeah, they knew what you were becoming, and they knew they couldn't let you back out into the world without like supervision. Oh man. Yep. Wow. That's it. I thought for sure we would have to get to another section when you split the party and like didn't let Deborah and Koa just go off without you guys.
Oh, so okay.
Almost happened.
Some in previous seasons, you've sometimes said so and so you've won or whatever.
Oh,
Is this a no-win? I'm guessing.
Our characters all ended up in like.
In this particular case,
Very different. He won.
I feel like it is possible that
If anything.
you and Sterling won because
Okay.
you both got like good positive outcomes. But it depends on what you were looking for, right? Like I feel like sometimes Nick's characters are like, I want these weird
the
outcomes.
crazy.
It's like, yes, I was looking to be the monster that ends up in a prison.
Yeah, it's hard to
like,
tell.
Oh, in that case, then you got what you wanted.
I want to be like the greatest doctor or the greatest surgeon who ever lived.
Be like Nick's fourth win.
Yeah. So
is
it depends on
perfect.
how you take it. Like one would consider being like a lab experiment a loss, but I mean he got all the mythos. He has this power, and basically who he is a year later, he's actually even better at it. They are trying to develop him into someone who can use his powers to create better super soldiers for them, and who can help them modify and save people that they've lost on the field.
The way that I think of it is that if
That would be such a
it-
great job. to have.
if Nick and Philip got to
Roguelike
join the
sacrifice.
agency and that was a victory,
I went crazy. I had my
if I get to be
Yeah,
an
think that's a
agent in the
victory.
agency,
So mad.
I want to call that a
I
victory.
know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make
Like
him not
basically
mad.
Yuri works for the agency now. It's just that it's unclear whether or not he knows he's working for the agency or if he even has enough of his own mind
Those,
left.
Yeah, I
those,
tried-
those people in the lab
I
coats,
tried
that,
to draw
those are
you.
agency
Those are
members?
your people.
Okay.
But
Yeah, but he's in a whole division that you have no transparency.